Good afternoon, friends. Again, the coming this Tuesday, again we are here to have your ideas on web series which we are having for the skill development of the CA aspirants. So today is very interesting and very great topic in demand for today's technological development, that is alternative career path after CA, fintech, data analysis, and more. And who is there to give you this discussion on this is none other than CA Arijit Chakravarti from Calcutta. Now you will very surprised to know that he is both a sportsman, he's both a entrepreneur as well as a chartered accountant with a grace and value added to his profession. So he has graduated from St. Xavier's College. He is MBA and DISA certified. He is a lead consultant and auditor in World Bank, and obviously he is being associated in our board of studies for many years as a role manager, and also he has done different self improvement programs with ICI in various capacity as well as in various locations. He is also amicable writer also, and he has authored 9 books on internal audit, business valuation, risk management, aviation, and martial arts. You will be surprised to know that he has he is a defense personnel with a kind of a what you can say expertise in martial arts. He has been given some and has been representing India also in this kind of sports, which is a very rare kind of breed in CA profession. So he has been giving due diligence lectures in forensics, audits, SOX compliances, etc. So now, with all this, I now request our CA Arijit Chakravarti to take you through this kind of session and enlighten you on this things of alternative career path for CA, that is fintech, data analytics, and more. Welcome, CA Arijit sir.
Thank you, Dr. Chanda, and I thank Board of Studies Operations for giving me this unique opportunity to share few thoughts on such a trending topic, which is on the career profile and the career path after CA, including the sectors like fintech, data analytics. I will also try to cover forensic accounting, risk management, and these are the domains where we see increasing traction among chartered accountants. So we first move into, I think the presentation is probably it's visible, and I think the audio video is going fine. So as Dr. Chanda introduced, that this is part of the RUN program, and RUN, as we all know, stands for reskilling, upskilling, and new skilling. And this is the entire profession is at crossroads where we have new visions, new horizons visible. And the role of a chartered accountant is now getting more and more diverse as ICAI has been spreading across the world. And the role of the chartered accountant today has become truly global. So from the traditional sectors, if you talk about the traditional sectors like FACT, like F for finance, A for audit and assurance, C for compliance, and T for tax, which has been seen as the conventional sector. From there, the ICAI, the Board of Studies, and different committees under the institute has created a new path for aspiring chartered accountants. Many of the younger chartered accountants and aspiring CAs, they are keen to explore domains like fintech, because we have seen a virtual revolution in the fintech domain. Data analytics, as we know, data is the new oil. So if data is the oil, apps are the engines. So with more and more data penetration, with digital India, and with the entire world going through a transformation, digital transformation, definitely we have number of alternate career paths. And here again, chartered accountants are leaving their trail, their competence, their expertise. So today we are taking up the role of chartered accountants specifically in diverse sectors, including fintech, data analytics, and data analytics. As you all know, sometimes we hear the word that data everywhere, and data has a lot of applications. Understanding the trend in the data, the pattern given in a set of data, this has numerous applications in areas like forensic audit and strategic decision making. So we always say that data, which is like information, quantifiable information, from information to insights. And data analytics gives us the power to predict. So we have a predictive component and something which is not only predictive, but prognostic component. So it is like predicting the future trend. So we will also look into forensic audit, information systems audit, and cybersecurity, because these are increasingly becoming relevant in today's world with more and more data, with digital penetration, with so many apps. Definitely there is a risk of data theft, leakage of data, different type of external attacks, which commonly we call like hacking and ransomware and different type of attacks. So here again, many chartered accountants have delved deep into these sectors. So cybersecurity is definitely a domain where chartered accountants are creating a new vista of opportunities. Apart from that, we'll also discuss about GCC, Global Capability Centers, and this is where we see a lot of recruitment taking place, both for technical engineers, for example, as well as for finance professionals, including chartered accountants. Plus, another important sector which is not part of the conventional role is ESG, where E stands for environment, S for society, G for governance. And even with the regulators, if you think about what SEBI has been doing, now we have BRSR, business responsibility and sustainability reporting. So this is also a new alternate career path for aspiring chartered accountants. We will also look at some of the corporate careers, specifically what are the skills we require, what are the certifications we need to add to our CA qualification, such that we can have a seamless transition into these alternate career options. Friends, I would also request you to kindly note that in CA Final, now we have the self-paced online modules, the SPOM. And there are a lot of new papers which has been introduced by the ICAI for our aspiring chartered accountants. And these include not only sectors, domains like mergers and acquisition, valuation, but it also includes digital transformation, AI, and of course, forensic accounting. So as we complete our intermediate exam, we commence with our articleship and now get ready to go through the final curriculum, the CA final. We also get a glimpse of the alternate career options through the Board of Studies initiative, that is the SPOM, the self-paced online modules. Definitely in articleship, several CA students who are serving their articleship are getting a practical feel, a real life exposure in domains like Fintech, forensic accounting, cybersecurity, and of course, ESG. So slowly the entire professional landscape is changing as chartered accountants and the ICAI taking the lead, and new vista of opportunities, especially in the alternate career options, in the new domains, in the next generation of opportunities are slowly opening up. First and foremost, we can see that the ICAI has entered into mutual recognition agreement and MOUs with different international bodies under the free trade agreement, which ultimately has given us a global playing field. Especially, it has been observed that in the recent past, the market demand for next-gen services have assumed a global scale. And the next-gen services include artificial intelligence, data analytics, cybersecurity, and allied sectors. Foreign firms, Indian firms are going global, foreign firms are operating in our country. So there is a virtual exchange of best practices. And many of these best practices are not just in sectors like audit, compliance, or taxation, but now many of us are working in the global platform, helping clients, advising companies to implement ERPs, to implement AI solutions. We are advising fintech startups, for example, of how to manage compliances, how to use data, how to use information as insight, and how to predict the future. And friends, all of us here, we understand, we know the term machine learning, deep learning, and the tremendous power of AI. So this this has resulted in a lot of change in human capital investment, technology implementation. As a result, our CA aspirants, they also need to plan for their career, to understand and to evaluate whether they are interested in the next generation sector or are they interested in the conventional sectors. So we see increasing interest amongst our aspiring CAs, especially in emerging domains like fintech, data, and other sectors. So friends, we refer to ABCD of information technology, and here A stands for artificial intelligence, B for blockchain, C for cloud computing, and D for data analytics. Knowingly and unknowingly, we use AI every day in our normal daily life. We use cloud computing. And of course, every now and then we are using data, we are consuming data. On the national level, the Government of India launched the Digital India Mission, digital payments, and users in India has been pegged at 865 million internet users. Indian users are using more and more data, 17 GB of data per month. Data use per person has increased. Also, if you look at the union budget, we see higher allocation for higher corporate capex for digital transformation. Parallelly, the Indian cybersecurity industry has grown by leaps and bounds, and according to the DSCI, the Data Security Council of India, the Indian cybersecurity service industry, and this is where again many chartered accountants, aspiring CAs are eager to work. So this sector is expanding at a phenomenal rate. Apart from that, if you look at the regulatory landscape, we have the Information Technology Act 2000 and the DPDP Act, the Digital Personal Data Protection Act 2023. So we have laws and regulations to govern sectors like data, data analytics. Of course, a legal framework for artificial intelligence is still on the anvil. It is still, probably it is going to come in the near future. But apart from that, the international standards, which are issued by the ISO, the International Standards Organization. So we have standards on data security, information security management, like ISO 27001, ISO 2727032, which you can see on this slide. ISO 27032 deals exclusively with cybersecurity. That means we have global standards. We have a regulatory, a legal framework. And the word cyber hygiene has become a very important buzzword. So as the data usage increases, as the professional opportunities are increasing, everywhere we find that cyber hygiene. So now we have the Indian regulator, the Computer Emergency Response Team, which is the Indian regulator for cybersecurity. Plus, the Government of India has set up the National Cybersecurity Policy and the I4C, which is Indian Cybercrime Coordination Center. That means digital transformation on the one hand includes AI, blockchain, data analytics, and of course, the fintech boom. Parallelly, due emphasis and due relevance has been given to cybercrime prevention and detection. And this is again an area where CAs are playing a role. Now, looking at the professional opportunities, we will cover 7 professional opportunities, including fintech, data, and so on. Now, first and foremost, alternate career path is technology consulting and digital transformation. So nowadays, we hear the word digital assurance. ICAI has a board which is Digital Audit and Assurance Board. Even audit is becoming totally digitized. So this is a sector where aspiring chartered accountants would be working in implementation of ERPs, in carrying out information systems audit, audit of IT systems, cybersecurity, including compliance with global standards like ISO 27001, which is on information security management. And when you have an IT platform, when you have a ERP set up, when there's a company which is having a strong, robust digital systems in place, we also need to ensure that there is business continuity planning, disaster recovery planning. So we have the global standard ISO 22301, which deals with BCP, business continuity planning. This is a very important sector where several companies are looking for advice, consultancy, and this is again a sector where chartered accountants have already created a niche market for themselves. Then we have global standards including ISO 38500 on IT governance, personal information, and a separate standard ISO 29100 on digital transformation. Plus, please keep a note, a specific standard on cybersecurity, ISO 27032. So just like we have accounting standards, just like we have auditing standards, now we have global standards on technology, on information system security, on personal information, on significant personal data, on digital transformation. That means if you have a standard, there will be a requirement for systems audit, compliance. So this is one of the opportunities which I would designate it as an alternate career path. And this is again a sector where CAs are creating a niche for themselves. Parallelly, robotic process automation, blockchain consulting, cloud services, several companies are migrating to clouds. So this is again a sector where specialized service is required to advise clients regarding the cloud adoption strategy which they need to undertake. Will it be a private cloud or a public cloud, a single cloud platform or a multi-cloud platform? So different type of pros and cons are there. And this is again part of digital transformation. The second sector is fintech. Now, if you look at the diagram which I have given on this slide, you can see fintech has number of applications, and the role of chartered accountants in financial technology in the fintech sector has been a very extensive role, enriching role. So we have so many fintech startups. If you think of the digital transformation, paperless economy, which India has been able to achieve. And then we had, of course, the pandemic, and there was a major shift towards online payment systems. So the idea in the fintech sector has been to introduce accessible, efficient, user-friendly platforms, protocols, so that financial services can be carried out. And of course, in our daily life, we come across Google Pay, Amazon Pay, Facebook Pay, Libra. Globally, we have seen a boom in cryptocurrency, virtual digital assets, which is an integral part of the fintech sector. India is currently globally placed in the 4th rank in terms of fintech unicorns. And if you think of Gift City, for example, just to cite a very common example, the Gift City, IFSC Gift City, the International Financial Services Center, we can see an enormous opportunity, and this opportunity is already knocking our doors, and chartered accountants, aspiring CAs, I'm sure, have decided to embark on this journey. The India fintech market size in terms of compounded annual growth rate has registered a very healthy trend of around 30%, more than 30%, as you can see, from 2024 till the next 5 years. And the India fintech adoption rate, the rate at which we Indians are adopting fintech in our daily life for all our digital payments, for online payments, we are higher, we are faster than the global rate. The fintech adoption rate in India has been around 87%, which is higher than the global rate of 67%. Therefore, for a fintech company, for a fintech giant, even for the CFO of such a fintech company, there are a lot of opportunities and there are a lot of questions. They need a lot of advice, advisory services, consulting. For financial controllers, there is a lot of opportunities in the fintech sector. Even for the auditor in a fintech sector, the entire approach is different. Most importantly, for a fintech startup, because when you think of fintech and startup, chartered accountants already are playing an immense role, because even for a fintech startup, chartered accountants and aspiring CAs are advising clients so far as financial reporting and compliance is concerned. So fintech is not just working in fintech sectors, but acting as a catalyst, acting as a consultant, an advisor to fintech companies, so far as their financial reporting is concerned. When we talk about fintech, we also talk about there can be possibility of money laundering. So anti-money laundering laws are there. So this is again chartered accountants with their robust and deep domain knowledge of compliance, of legal framework are helping fintech companies exclusively in dealing with anti-money laundering laws. Then we have financial planning for fintech sectors. Fintech companies, since they include finance and technology, so there is a very important role of risk management. And this is where chartered accountants are specializing. And this is definitely an alternate career path, because for fintech sectors, fintech domain, fintech companies and giants, we have so many models of risk management. There can be operational risks, there can be credit risk, market risk, capital adequacy, liquidity risks, and also sensitivity to market fluctuations. So many chartered accountants and aspiring CAs are providing value-added service to fintech clients such that they can implement a robust risk management system. Last year, you may remember there were certain concerns in case of Paytm Payments Bank. And we saw how the Reserve Bank of India beefed up the controls. The focus, the thrust came on achieving a robust risk management structure. So this is where the role of CAs has been evaluated as one of the most, I would say, one of the most game-changing, epoch-making roles. Even for fintech advisory, we can see a lot of opportunities for chartered accountants, and there are a number of companies, both multinational firms as well as Indian organizations in the BFSI sector, banking, financial services, and insurance sector, who are looking for chartered accountants and providing them with exciting opportunities to add value. And along with fintech, as I mentioned, along with the fintech domain, risk management has a critical function. Why? Because with the increasing power of AI, there is a threat of AI-generated content attack. So a few years back, external attacker,
we have with our Vice Chairman Sanjeev Sanghi ji. Sir, he's a leader behind this initiative
Yes.
of Run @100. Sir, over to you, sir. Sanjeev sir.
Yeah, please.
Thank you so much, madam. Thank you, Arijit. I know Arijit for last 20 years, and he had been a great inspiration to many students across. And what he's talking about is being defined in three important letters, which is very, very important and relevant today for CA student as well as chartered accountant, is technology, technology, and technology. Now, when I use this same word three times, it defines, how we can differentiate ourselves. Like I was just working 20 minutes back with an accounting body, and I said the most differentiating factor which a chartered accountant, for the future is going to have is having that digital acumen, having that, fintech knowledge, and how they can be a differentiator in whatever they are doing, getting things done at the click of a button, creating that efficiency, efficacy, and effectiveness in whatever they are doing. Because all the mundane tasks, all the regular tasks is all getting automated. So the only proposition we are going to go forward with is how we can get things done more efficiently and with a lot of values. Once we save our time, once we know that when whatever we are doing, whether in an organization or when we are doing our own startup or we are doing our own practice, if we know that all this administrative work can be automated, what we are now going back doing is to create that specialized skills in whatever we are doing. And that will create a lot of value. And fintech plays a very important role, which is a very apt topic which Arijit has chosen today, is what after CA? Are we going back into this regular work of compliance, or we are getting into a domain from compliance to reliance? How we can make our presence felt to a company to say, hey, we are dependent on you. We are relied upon you. We are looking forward for you for the value propositions, for the growth of our company, for making sure that how we can transform. And that's the reason why this series 100 has been started. And we are thankful to so many speakers, motivators, and initiators who are coming forward without any cause, without any honorarium, to support this huge, society of students, to make them futuristic. Because as I always say, that institute is just a first step. You are the future of the country and you are the future of our profession. And that's the reason, since we have to travel a long distance and we have very less time, we need to run. And let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, this run theme is again being coined by Arijit Chakravarti. That's the word which he has, coined. He's always with lot of ideas and word. Vidhi, let me tell you, when the Student National Conference of ICASA is happening, that RRR is again being coined by
Yes, yes.
Arijit Chakravarti. So this run is all about reskilling, upskilling, and acquiring new skills. And that's how this run 75 started. And now we are with run 100, which is again a very, very important series which we are doing. And this is just the 8th or 9th series which we are working upon.
See, 8 series, sir.
It's the 8th series. So there are 92 more series coming up, and all of that are getting recorded. All of them are getting uploaded in YouTube, and all this credit, all the efforts is being given to the team of BOS led by Vidhi Gupta, who had been instrumental in making sure that we are not missing a single webinar and we are having all the best speakers. And let me tell you, all the friends, none of the speakers are repeated. They are all giving their best. And if that one single idea, if Arijit is speaking for 45-50 minutes, if you can pick up that one single word from him, one single thought from him, that will, and that definitely will change your career. So I wish all the students all the very best. And I will request you once again, as a vice chairman of the Board of Studies Operations, to give your feedback on the topics which you want to look upon, you want to hear upon. We'll get you the best faculties for that. And do share this message, Run 100, to all the students, whoever you know, so that this becomes a buzz for the entire country. With that, thank you all so much. And thank you, Arijit, for joining this most important sessions. I know you're doing a good job and you always do. So thank you so much. And thank you, Vidhi, for giving me the patient hearing. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Arijit, sir, over to you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Yes. So thanks to Sanjeev Sanghi sir for his enlightening speech, his motivation, and he has always been at the forefront of technology, bringing a lot of new reforms, changes, and especially in the area of international, handling international clients, practice management, and automation. And as Sanjeev sir was mentioning, the role of CA, if you see, he focused on certain words like value add. So these sectors we are discussing, fintech and data analytics, artificial intelligence, these are forward looking. These add value to the clients. So we are always in demand because our advice, our strategic ideas provide value. And as you all know, the business world is VUCA. V for volatile, U for uncertain, C for complex, A for ambiguous. Add to that, we have the ambiguity due to changes in AI, due to changes and a lot of developments taking place even in the data analytics domain. So the idea here is that CA, chartered accountant, can also, the letter CA can also stand for change agent. I repeat, change agent. We are the initiators of the change. We are thinking ahead. We are ahead of the curve. And this is where I think the value addition which we bring to the table, the value proposition which we provide to our clients, are speaking volumes about our competence, about our excellence. And I thank once again the BOS operations, the entire group led by our respected chairman, vice chairman, sir, of BOS operations. To this 100, run 100, I guess will give us a lot of new ideas. A spark is needed. So once you get the spark in your mind, you can do more research. And today we have technology. If you look at the ICAI website, if you look at the DLH, the Digital Learning Hub, it's all about technology. When we were students of CA, these technology revolutions were not there. So now at the click of a button, as Sanjeev sir was mentioning, we have all the knowledge, we have all the data, all the information. Now we need to process the information, create our career plan, and go ahead full steam with self-belief and, of course, with the positive attitude of run. That is reskill, upskill, and new skill. So now let's get into the sector of data analytics. Now, data analytics, as we know, what is data analytics? A lot of data. A company has, for example, a lot of financial data, non-financial data. And we know that the idea in data science is to arrange the raw data in a systematic way such that it is sensible. It gives us some idea about the pattern of the data, the trend in the data, and based on the past trend, we can conclude regarding the future. So in statistics, there is a chapter on correlation and regression where we calculate correlation coefficient, covariance, and that is, I think, one of the subjects in our CA foundation level. So starting with the background which chartered accountant students have in sectors like probability, theoretical distribution, correlation and regression, based on that, if you move into data analytics and become a data scientist, yes, it is possible. A CA can always be one of the most excellent data scientists. And we can help companies in analyzing data, in creating meaningful trend patterns such that the company, the client, is able to use the data efficiently with the predictive mindset, and they will be able to generate meaningful data, meaningful insights. So if you see on the right-hand side of the slide, you can see information to optimization. And this is a small graph I've taken from one of the excellent research work done by Gartner, which is an international research agency. So from descriptive analytics, the idea is hindsight. From hindsight, we get insight into the data. From insight, we get foresight. So by looking at the past trend, we can predict the future, and that is what we call prescriptive analytics. So a company will be able to reasonably predict the revenue, for example, the cost, the breakup in the cost, even machine downtime, maintenance, repair. When does a particular machine need a repair? How long can a particular equipment work without a failure? These are practically carried out using data analytics. So data analytics has a lot of tools, including data smoothing and visualization. So once we have the data, the management, the board of directors want to know from us that, okay, this is the analysis you have done, but can you give me a dashboard? Can you give me a visualization by which I understand how data, how information is getting translated to insight, from information to insight, and from insight to foresight. So this is the power of Microsoft BI, Zoho Analytics, and such other tools. So we have descriptive tools, diagnostic tools, predictive. So you can understand in a nutshell, data analytics deal with a lot of analysis of data, understanding, and many times, in your IT curriculum, you have come across terms like data warehousing, data archiving, database management system. So from data analytics, the ultimate objective is to develop predictive and prescriptive. So predictive means what is likely to happen. Prescriptive means what can be a possible solution. And this is what companies want to know. How can we be ahead of the curve? How can we be forward-looking? Even when we talk of risk management, nowadays the idea is risk intelligence. That means we should be able to predict the risks which will come. It is not enough to manage the risk. It is now becoming pertinent to predict what type of risks can come, and every company must be having, we always say that prevention is better than cure. So they should be able to create a preventive platform, a preventive framework by which they can take care of emerging risks. And this is in risk management, in risk intelligence, we also have huge applications of data analytics. Many of us who are working in the sector of risk management and fraud detection, many of you who have gone through number of online courses. ICAI has number of courses for students, for members on data analytics. The word anomaly detection, outlier, these are important terms. So data analytics gives us an idea about the anomalies in the data. That means those type of data which is not consistent, which is not synchronized, which is outlier, which is out of turn. Even data analytics is used not only by chartered accountants, it is an emerging career for us. But if you look at even the Central Board of Indirect Taxes and Customs, CBIC, the government of India has been harnessing the power of data analytics to prevent, to detect cases of GST fraud. For example, fake input tax credit, filing of fake refund requests. And please check the website of CBIC. You will find that they have a particular entire organization called DGARM, the Director General of Analytics and Risk Management. That means the government of India is already harnessing the power of data analytics and using it in a practical manner to prevent, detect cases of tax evasion and GST frauds. Plus, the Indirect Tax Department under the Ministry of Finance, the CBIC, has inaugurated, has commenced with the Project Advait, which stands for Advanced Analytics in Indirect Taxes. This was introduced way back in 2021 and has been providing exemplary results through which the Central Board of Indirect Taxes and Customs is able to reduce, prevent, and timely detect cases of GST frauds, non-compliances. Data analytics is equally used by chartered accountants to provide value-added service in the banking sector. For example, creditworthiness assessment of a borrower. That is done through data analytics. Prediction of non-performing asset, prediction of bad debt. We have Altman's Zeta score model, which is used. Process automation. Not only this, data analytics as a specialized domain will also help our aspiring chartered accountants to create a better, to have a stronger grip, even in statutory audit, even in internal audit, because in data analytics, through the power of data, as we call big data, for example, we are able to reduce risk elements in auditing process. Now, our friends who are watching this program, they are fully conversant with the auditing standards like ASA 300 on audit planning, 315 on risk assessment. SA 520 deals with analytical procedures. So if you are an auditor and you are using data analytics as part of your ARP, analytical review procedures, you can develop insight into the data. SA 530 deals with sampling, but now with the power of data analytics, it is possible to cover the entire population. So sampling approach slowly may get modified as we increase our understanding of the entire data set. This will result in enhanced reporting of audit reporting standards, SA 700, 705, 706. Also, when you refer to SA 701, key audit matters. So with increasing use of data analytics in audit, there will be a complete game changer. A lot of value will get created. We will look at better numbers, and therefore our value proposition, even as an auditor, will enhance by leaps and bounds. In this slide, I've shared a screenshot of ICAI Digital Learning Hub. You can see there are a number of courses, and if I see this slide, applying analytics for finance professional, already we have these courses which ICAI has been providing for so many years to our eager CA aspirants. This is one example. The other example, data analytics using CAT tools. So you can see this is again a screenshot from the website learning.icai.org. And this is an executive development program on data analytics, how we can use CAT tools to uncover data, to understand the hidden pattern in the data. And by understanding the pattern, we develop insight. And from insight, we go to foresight. So this is how things are changing. The fourth area domain is role of chartered accountants in forensic accounting. By using tools like data analytics, by uncovering, unlocking the power of AI, a complete change in the audit approach in forensic accounting has been achieved. Chartered accountants are highly sought after experts in forensic accounting. ICAI is perhaps the only institute in the world which has brought out forensic accounting standards. So we were discussing, I was referring to accounting standards, then we have Ind AS, we have auditing standards, we have standards on cybersecurity, but ICAI has introduced so many standards on forensic accounting. And if you look at the table which I have given, these standards are known as FAIS, Forensic Accounting and Investigation Standards. You can see the list of the standards. I would request you to look at two of the standards which I have shown in green color, FAIS 510. So FAIS 510 deals with data analytics. So ICAI has a complete standard of how to use data analytics for forensic accounting. As you know, the work of forensic accounting is not a conventional sector. This is an alternate career. This is new age, new generation. Several aspiring chartered accountants and qualified members of the ICAI, they are working as forensic auditors, not just in India, but serving clients, helping regulators throughout the globe. It is a global phenomenon. And we have ICAI standard FAIS 510 on data analytics. Please see the next standard, FAIS 520, discovering evidence in a digital domain. So the ICAI has already gifted us so many world-class standards, and this is where we can see a complete synthesis of accounting, investigation, forensic science, data analytics, and tech tools. So in forensic accounting, this is a new age alternate career profession, very similar to Fintech, data analytics, and AI. Now, this is a sector where ICAI, you might be thinking that what after CA? I'm completing my CA this year or maybe in the next year. What are the certification I need to acquire? Well, we have DISA course of the ICAI, which provides you with a complete command over systems audit, security, and cyber forensics. You have the forensic accounting course of the ICAI, FAFD course of ICAI. Even in forensic accounting, there's a tremendous role of AI. Now, I received one question which Dr. Chanda was sharing with me. What is the role of AI in data analytics? That was one of the questions. How is data analytics going to change with more and more AI? Well, AI relies heavily on machine learning data set. You hear this term LLM, large language models. Now we have the power of AI. We all know that now we have text to speech, speech to text, and AI is virtually, when you think of even recent trending events like Ghibli, you know, these forms, and this is becoming so viral in the social media. Well, AI depends a lot on the sanctity of the data. So the system is fed with a lot of data set. So if the data set is technically valid, if the data is validated, if the input is correct, then the AI tool will give a more effective, more accurate output. So input quality is going to ultimately guide and ensure output quality. If there is any sort of bias in the data, automatically the output will be biased. So the role of AI and data analytics is a very close knit. But at the same time, I'll tell you that there are a number of standards on AI. For example, we have AI, if you see the international standard, ISO 23894, ISO 42001. These are new standards on artificial intelligence, risk management, artificial intelligence management systems. So our young friends who are aspiring CAs, they can embark on a journey where they can combine AI, data analytics, and forensic accounting. And they can also become experts in cybersecurity and cyber forensics. And you can see already these standards like FAIS 510 and 520 have been pronounced by the ICAI. These standards are compulsory. These are mandatory standards to be followed by all chartered accountants who are working as forensic accountants. Plus, we have ISO lead audit certification. We have separate ISO certification for ISO 27001, separate certification for ISO 22301, and so on. Now, let us see some of the professional opportunities in this alternate career path of forensic accounting. Just an illustration. First is in practice. So if you feel that after completing my CA, I want to deep dive into the exciting world of practice. Yes, as a forensic accountant, as a forensic auditor, you can empanel with so many organizations. You can see SFIO, Securities Exchange Board of India, Indian Banks Association. You have Indian Bank, Yes Bank, Bank of Maharashtra. In the employment sector, if you feel that, no, I want to work in a company, enhance my skill set, learn and grow with the company, you have the MNC consulting firms, large fintech giants, separate boutique firms in forensic and cybersecurity. Plus, you can work with the regulatory bodies. So there's a tremendous opportunity. We move to the fifth sector on risk management, the role of CA in risk management. Now, risk management means we are creating a framework for a corporate or a non-corporate entity such that the entity can understand, identify the risks, evaluate which risks are material risks, and can prepare a course of action for risk mitigation. So we are all aware about Section 134 of the Companies Act, which deals with the responsibility on the board of directors. But is there any standard on risk management? It's a new sector. It's an alternate career path for chartered accountants, for aspiring CAs. But do we have any standard? Yes. We have a standard, international standard, ISO 31000. We have a standard which I was mentioning, AI related risk management. So if a company is using artificial intelligence, maybe a bot, a chat bot, for example, it will also have certain risks which are specific to the AI tool. So we also have a standard such that the company will be able to evaluate the risks which is coming on board due to AI, and they can mitigate the risk. ICAI has brought out SIA 13, Standard on Internal Audit 13, way back in 2009. And this deals with enterprise risk management. So many of us may not be aware that even for internal audit, we have standards, and these standards have been pronounced by our institute. And there is a standard on risk management, SIA 13. So you can also think of specializing in the domain of risk management, both on the advisory side, consulting side, plus you could also work as a chief risk officer in the near future, and you will be heading the risk management function of your company. The sixth role is ESG. So here we are talking a lot about, the whole world is speaking about a clean, green earth. The word ESG, the three letters ESG, sustainability, is something we hear every day. Is it that a CA can work in ESG? Answer is yes. So every company, if you look at a listed company's annual report, you will find that they are publishing a report which is called integrated report. Integrated. So it includes the financial performance, profitability, P for profitability, also P for planet. Planet. Are we harming the planet? Do we have a production process which is creating carbon emission? Are we recycling water? Are we recycling our energy? Are we using renewable form of energy? Are we consistent in quality such that we are not polluting the environment? Plus, are we inclusive in our approach? So this is the world of ESG. Friends, accounting standards in the global domain, we talk about IFRS. Please note that from 2024, the International Accounting Standards Board has issued two new accounting standards, IFRS S1 and S2 on sustainability, which means global companies which are now meeting the net carbon zero emission norms, which are marching on the path of ESG, they have to comply with these new standards. IFRS S1 and S2. S1 deals with sustainability related disclosure. IFRS S2 deals with climate related disclosure. So this is a completely new opportunity, a greenfield opportunity for aspiring chartered accountants, because these standards have been initiated globally. In India, several companies are voluntarily publishing their financial statements, including their sustainability related information. Mostly the listed companies. But the day is not far when we will have Indian counterpart under Indian accounting standards. We will have standards on sustainability. So this is a big area for chartered accountants and aspiring CAs. SEBI has introduced clause 55 on business responsibility reporting. Plus, my dear friends in this platform who are aspiring chartered accountants, our members, they are fully aware about standards on auditing. But we also have a separate set of standards, which is called SSAE, Sustainability, Standards on Sustainability Assurance Engagement. And there is one standard, SSAE 3410, which deals with greenhouse gas statement. Several multinational audit consulting firms, many of the Indian homegrown firms, are now providing high-end opportunity, excellent exposure to aspiring chartered accountants through the articleship, through the internship program, such that our younger CAs, our aspiring CAs can create their identity, can create a specialized domain in this alternate career path. Plus, when you talk of sustainability, we also deal with health audit, safety audit, ISO 45001 being the global standard. Plus, we have energy management standard, ISO 50001. Several companies in India are following ISO 50001. Power sector companies, if you look at the coal sector players, for example, large manufacturing companies in steel, aluminium, even several real estate players, we hear about green building. We talk a lot and we are implementing solutions like, for example, renewable energy deployment, water harvesting, rainwater harvesting. How can we reduce our carbon footprint? How can we reduce our energy output? So this is where a new generation of auditors, energy specialists are coming into the picture. So ESG includes, first of all, compliance with international accounting standards, IFRS S1 and S2, providing certification on greenhouse gas emissions. Many of you have heard about carbon credit, and this is becoming increasingly relevant in India. Plus, a lot of opportunity for advisory in this ESG space. You just look at the website of any top Indian firm, audit and consulting firm. If you refer to any website of top Indian firms, you will find many of them have a separate domain, not just on audit, not just on tax, not just on compliance, but also on ESG, where they are handling sustainability audits. And you can see we talk about carbon footprint, print of your foot. You can see I've given this footprint here. So when we do energy audit, ESG audit, we check water recycling, how much of emission, how can we reduce the emission, how can we cut down on energy demand, how can we reduce transport related emissions, how can we go for more recycling, how can we cut down on waste. So the focus globally, and you have seen even in the global G20 summit, the most important agenda was ESG, creating a cleaner, greener earth. So this is again a major sector, and you can see when we talk of energy audit, this is a new domain for chartered accountants, for not just only for our professionals, but several other professionals, including engineers. They are also providing a lot of value in energy audit, sustainability audit. The last one we take up is the role of chartered accountants in GCC, the Global Capability Centers. I'll just take one question from the BOS admin. There's one question: what additional courses or experiences are required for a career in fintech and data analytics for a fresher CA? Now, dear friends, I will just type it here. Now, you know that the ICAI has been spearheading. It has been a torch bearer in AI. If you see the new website, I'll just type it out here, ai.icai.org, you will get the answer. Members are upskilling, reskilling themselves through the AI course of the institute. So for a fresher chartered accountant, we have the AI course. Data analytics, yes, I was sharing screenshot of number of courses which are there in the ICAI Digital Learning Hub, where data analytics as a tool, data analytics in fintech, use of data analytics in forensic accounting have been discussed in detail. So these are all modular courses, and this will help you to have so that you appreciate, you have a better command over the exciting profession of data science. Also for fintech, for a career in fintech, definitely, I was discussing about the role of chartered accountants in fintech startup, in risk management in the fintech sector, providing security, information security assurance in the fintech sector. Definitely courses like, I'll just type in few of the courses like I was mentioning about the DISA course is helpful. If you see, we have a very interesting course, DMBF, which is provided by the ICAI, Diploma Course in Masters in Business Finance. And in the DMBF curriculum, this course is being conducted by the ICAI for almost more than 15 years. And I had the privilege of being associated with the course right from 2010. Thus, this course has undergone number of revisions. And in the DMBF curriculum, we have specific domains on fintech, risk management in fintech, role of chartered accountants in fintech. So the DISA course, the AI course, and of course, DMBF course will help us. One more question has come. How can CA transition into fintech without a technical or a technology background, of course? So many of you, I'm sure, are interested in the programming part, in the technology part, coding, for example. So many of our aspiring CAs are acquiring knowledge, practical knowledge through different online courses on coding, on Python, for example. So definitely these courses will help us. But you have to think, I guess, that there are two domains in this particular platform. One is, do I want to be a programmer? Do I want to develop an AI model? This is one question. The other is that, do I want to advise companies, clients in implementing AI, in implementing data analytics? So one is the technology side. That means, do you want to be a data scientist? Or is it that you are trying to use data analytics as an advisory, in an advisory capacity? So please think of that in case you feel that you want to enter into the technology part. Yes, there are a number of courses available. You can first of all have a quick glance at our ICAI Digital Learning Hub. You will get number of courses. Even Python and AI in a big way is now part of the advanced IT curriculum, which our aspiring CAs need to complete in the last year of their practical training before they are appearing for their CA final. So in the advanced IT curriculum, if you have a glance at the study materials, at the presentations, in the class sessions, which is conducted by expert faculties, you will also get better command on the technology side of AI and data. I will take the last question as indicated by our BOS admin. How can a CA use their financial knowledge in field of data analytics? Okay. Now, as I was mentioning that data analytics, as we saw, now it's all about analyzing data and helping the top management, helping the board, helping the KMP, the key managerial personnel, in understanding, in predicting. So from information, we have insight, from insight, foresight. That is the ultimate crux of data analytics. Now, with our knowledge of financial, we have a deep knowledge of financial statements. So with our knowledge of accounts, with our knowledge of financial statements, with our knowledge of financial management, international finance, we are one of the most coveted professionals to help clients in predicting the financial journey of their company in terms of financial growth, revenue, cost. How can they control the cost? Which part of the cost is going beyond control? Analysis of budget versus actuals, and predicting the entire future financial net worth. at advising companies to continue as a going concern. So definitely our knowledge of finance, financial reporting, taxation, economics, with our knowledge of data analytics will give us a complete command in this emerging domain. Lastly, in the GCC, in the global capability sector, there are a number of areas where you will find that India is now positioned as a hub of GCC, Global Capability Center. Number of sectors where aspiring CAs are working, the outsourcing industry, the Global Capability Center, offshoring sector has been expanding pretty fast. So now we are handling, sitting in India, sitting in Gujarat, sitting in Guwahati, sitting in Chennai, operating from Kolkata or Mumbai or Pune or NCR or Gurugram, say for example, we are handling global clients, accounting, audit, risk compliance. So this is the power of GCC, Global Capability Centers. Lastly, I will conclude in just 2-3 minutes with a few information which I'm sure will act as a spark for our young CAs and for our aspiring CAs. ICAI has not only acted as the catalyst for all this reform, all this knowledge, all this development. Now you can see the ICAI in the last 6-7 years, they have been conducting the global campus, the placement program. And if you see the last placement program, the global placement program, which happened in January this year, you can see leading companies from countries ranging from Australia, New Zealand, from US, Canada, Middle East, Africa, and entire Europe. Leading companies are now recruiting Indian chartered accountants and providing them with exciting career opportunities, not just in assurance, but also in digital transformation, in global fintechs, in cybersecurity, in risk management. I'm just sharing in the last few minutes just 1 or 2 examples of the role, practical. I'm taking names of the companies and these are from public domain, from the career portal of these companies. First one is an opportunity which came out in the month of March, CA Fresher for Centrum Housing Finance. The role is risk management and compliance. If you see the role, it deals with data analytics. It deals with risk categorization. It deals with value at risk calculation. It also is concerned with using risk dashboard visualization, data visualization, trend analysis, plus metrics. So this is one example from Centrum Housing Finance. And you can also see in the lower part of the slide, you can see that the candidate who will be joining this type of profile will also prepare risk report. So preparation of risk report using the power of data analytics is definitely an alternate career profession. It is new generation services which CAs are rendering. The next one, last one is just concluding, is for Kotak Life Insurance. This position was for Mumbai. Here also use of MIS dashboards and analytical models. If you see in the job description, it has been given, it has been included. That means not only capability in audit, but also using data analysis, understanding the power of AI is included. PwC had an opportunity for forensic risk consulting where they have categorically stated that the incumbent, the candidate, must have understanding of financial services risk, knowledge of fintech sector, plus understanding of data analytics and AI in fraud investigation. And lastly, Infosys. In the last month, you can see Infosys Consulting. They have started financial services and insurance practice, and they are focusing on banking, capital market, fintech, risk management. And if you see, they have clearly said that they are looking for qualified CAs, and the domains are digital transformation, operations optimization, mergers and acquisition, business transformation. So with these words and with these thoughts, I would request you, I'm sure you will get a spark, and with the ongoing guidance of ICAI, I'm sure we will all work towards alternate career profession where we shall be working in the international best practices. We shall be able to continuously run, as our respected Vice Chairman sir said, continuous running, reskilling, upskilling, new skilling, being dynamic, being adaptive will be required. So with these words, I would thank once again the Board of Studies Operations and wishing all of you the very best in your career journey. Be sure to ignite that spark in your mind, and I would request Madam to take over, and once again requesting all of you to continuously upgrade, upskill and reskill yourself so that we can have a golden opportunity, a great professional career in front of us, and we make ICAI and CA, the CA profession, proud. So with that, thanks to Board of Studies Operations, and handing it over to ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your kind words and the way you have explained that this topic to the students, and they are still a keen understanding on how to apply these in the concepts in the real world situations, sir. Thank you so much. In the absence of leadership, our chairman, CA Dr. Rohit Ruvatia ji, and the vice chairman, CA Sanjeev Sanghi ji, this is an initiative being taken by the Board of Studies Operation under their leadership to start this series, Run at the Rate 100. Now, student, I urge all of you to stay connected with us on every Tuesday and Friday for 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. Thank you so much. With all the initiative that has been taken by the Board of Studies, I thanks all my teammates who doing working day and night for making these webinars a great success, and to our speakers who has given the great time to all of us and enhancing the skill sets of the students. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.